action. You think you know me? On this day. Tell me who that is, Jacob. Whose theme song is that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh my god, did you not watch WWE at all?
165, live and in progress. Can you put that over there for
Did
me?
you not watch WWE growing up?
I mean, I did here and there, but wasn't as big of a fan as you, clearly.
Apparently your childhood sucked. No, that's Edge's theme song. The Rated R Superstar. Get it right.
I apologize. Not really. I don't give a fuck.
Bro, I'll be watching. I follow like some of the Instagram pages that like this day in history for WWE. It's nostalgic sometimes.
You're just like, memories.
Memories. Yeah. So how you been, Jacob? How's this week been treating you so far?
Been pretty rough. Not gonna lie to you.
Shit.
Work. Yeah, work has been it's been a long week. But besides that, pretty good.
You got a vacation coming up, so that you get to unwind.
Exactly.
A little bit at least.
Working these next 2 days that I'm off for a week, so
there you go. Well deserved.
Exciting
well
stuff.
earned.
Exciting stuff. Hopefully I don't get too fat, but we both know that I will.
I was about to say. Wishful thinking.
That's all I'm gonna do is eat and drink.
Especially on cruises. Oh my god, that's the one thing that like it's hardest to wean off of once you get off of a cruise is that you can eat literally at any time you want.
Yep, anything you want.
Pretty much.
Damn near.
And then you come back home to reality and it's like,
I'm hungry.
For real. None of this shit's for free. I gotta pay for all that
pizza at
shit.
any time. No cookies at any time.
Burgers, fries, veggies,
no ice
steaks.
cream. Fuck. And then
lasagna.
You don't even eat seafood, but I get a surf and turf once every cruise. Nice lobster
The
tail.
dinners are usually pretty good though.
The dinners are good, but
with the desserts,
always got
I get a nice little fruit cup too.
Nice touch.
I usually hit the gym at least 3 times. Nothing crazy, just a little 30-45 minutes in there, just so I don't get too fucking.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this week.
But you're going on a whole bunch of excursions. So
yeah,
that might
shit,
fucking make up for. The
and it's 4 straight days.
Boom! Back to back
so
to back to back to back.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be tired. I'm gonna be like, I don't know if I am.
I don't know.
I don't know if I am gonna hit the gym this week
shit.
or next week, I should say.
At least go one day.
Well, this week too. Shit.
Do it.
I went Monday. I did legs. Sore as a motherfucker right now. Crossing my legs hurts right now. I'm like,
damn dog.
'Cause I had like a legit real leg day. I haven't had a real leg day in like 2-3 weeks. But I went in and I fucking did everything. I did.
It's been like
squats.
4 months for me.
I did squats, RDLs, split squats. That's probably what did it by itself.
The
honestly.
glutes, your glutes are hurting.
Leg extensions, leg curls, and calf raises.
Calf raises.
And after all that, I was like,
calf raises.
I hit the steam room.
I did hit the sauna today.
Quality.
Did the stationary bike.
That's good. You were on that for a while. When we used to go, you would bike for at least mile, 2 miles. Or
I'll do like 15, 20 minutes depending. Oh. But yeah, that shit. I mean, for me, it's good because of my foot and it helps with the rehab and building the strength. So, and it's good cardio. So, but speaking of, I know this is not on the topics, but I definitely want to hit this real quick. Someone who doesn't work out, who's fucking taking shit now because they were doing shit. Fucking good old Lizzo. When I saw that shit, that had me fucking dying laughing because I started reading like what people were like, what the accusers were fucking
saying about her.
Yeah. Like the irony of all this is that how. Oh.
I'm just fixing this.
Here we go. Yeah, it was a little off kilter, but how in the beginning of Lizzo's career. Oh, you're so beautiful. Even though you're big and fat, you're still beautiful, and you're great the way you are. And now she's the one fat shaming people. Tell me how that makes sense.
Oh, that's what she was doing. She was
fat shaming people, sexual harassment. I saw something
harassment.
which I don't know how accurate this is, but I saw something that she made one of her like dancer people, eat a banana out of some sex worker's vagina at some show in like the Netherlands or some. Yeah, dog.
Damn.
Good old Lizzo's not so good old, and hey, glad she got success, whatever. But I've never been a fan. I've always found her like extremely fucking obnoxious and annoying. And then there you go. Now she fucking fat shames
a lot of like
other fat people.
I don't know, like because what category is she in? Pop?
I get, yeah, she's a pop star for sure.
Yeah, that pop category is a real.
Let me see, because I saw a post.
Very hit or miss for me.
Yeah, well, Lizzo, there you go.
I did see a couple posts about it, but
I just think it's so funny. Let's see. The dancers claim that Lizzo made negative comments about the dancers' weight gain, and later scolded and fired her when she recorded a meeting due to a health condition, going against everything Lizzo stands for publicly. True. The lawsuit also includes allegations of religious and racial harassment, false imprisonment, interference with economic advantage, and other claims. Additionally, the lawsuit mentions instances where Lizzo allegedly invited dance members to engage in inappropriate activities during performances as well. Well,
Lizzo, you're on the hot seat.
Listen,
take this time, go to the gym, think about yourself, reflect.
When I saw that she was fat shaming people, that shit got me. I'm like, how does this is 2023 for you people? That's 2023 in a nutshell. Where we are as people, how a big old fat woman is gonna fat shame other people. Booyah.
Because they're not as fat as her. What if that was the shaming? Like, you call yourself fat? No, I'm fat.
Shit. Then they'd be like, oh, you're off the hook then. It's all right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's fucked up. I fat shame myself, but I like being lazy and fat sometimes. No. It's good for the soul. Occasionally. Don't do it all the time, though. Anything, I mean, just like anything.
You can't be too degrading to yourself. You gotta just enough to motivate yourself.
Yeah, I work hard. So, I mean, that's why, for example, next week, I am going to be fat shaming myself, but it's willing. Like, I am preparing. I've prepared myself for weeks to eat my body weight in food.
You know what I found out today? That a gallon of water is like 8-point-something pounds.
Oh, in you? Like in your body?
A gallon of water.
Oh, like the weight of
a weight of a gallon of water. Yep.
Makes sense. Some days I'm like,
yeah,
this bitch kind of heavy.
There you go. It's because I was listening to Joe Rogan, and he did
Joe Rogan.
He was doing a podcast with Jared Cannonier. Oh, there he goes. With Jared Cannonier. And then they were talking about weight cutting and shit like that. And Jared Cannonier brought up how much, I'm pretty sure like a gallon of water is like 8 pounds. So that's why you see people like gain so much weight after they weigh in, because they just are rehydrating.
Yeah. They just sweat it all out.
Sweat it out.
Well, I mean, we were going to go.
So I mean, I just wanted to say that because I thought it was funny. But do you want to start with Utopia or?
We will, but random, just because we did Lizzo. Other random. You saw that fucking guy, like the influencer from fell off the Chinese skyscraper?
Like 60-some stories.
60 stories. Can you imagine? I mean, he knew instantly, like, yep, I'm a goner. But like like his fucking probably thoughts on the way down, whole life flashed before your eyes real quick.
But real quick, he probably had some time.
Like, well, I fucked up.
I mean, I wonder how long it took him to fall. Probably like 5 seconds.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe.
60 stories is not because imagine it took us when
like a minute descent, right?
Yeah.
It was like a 10-minute ride.
Well, yeah, but like when we were free falling, it was for a minute, and that was
a long time to fall. We felt,
and there's no way that 60 stories.
No, we fell thousands of feet.
Not thousands. We were even up a
couple
thousand.
Hundred. Yeah, we were only 1,800 feet up.
I was about to say, it's like, bro, where'd you go?
Honestly,
he fell into
outer space.
He fell up. Oh shit! Yeah, that probably. I mean, what thoughts go through your head at that point? Like, damn, I fucked up. I should have fucking stepped this way instead.
Oh shit! Well, he had been doing it for years, like going up on skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Free climbing them too, like no ropes, no harnesses, just climbing up shit that he wasn't supposed to be on to record and stuff.
Is it just me, or is are a lot of influencers like dying recently?
Yeah,
a lot of influencers, a lot of crypto people are just fucking dead.
Well, crypto,
dead,
I mean,
dead,
a lot of crypto for sure. A lot of influencers. I mean, there was like that Russian vegan.
Yeah, I saw that too. That she died
of starvation. Like that's like ironic as shit to me. Like it's sad. It's sad when anyone loses their life, but to die by starvation, like you held out on food yourself. Like this wasn't someone.
I mean, you have to think at
from
a point.
low poverty country or anything. Like this is someone who had the means and the money to get whatever she wanted whenever she wanted, and yet she died of starvation.
You have to think at what point did she start like?
I mean, at some point it probably became
That's
a
what I'm saying.
disease, and she probably had like anorexia, as in like, or I mean, she could have had she could have had like she could have thought to herself she ate, she was becoming fat.
What is that called? Body dysmorphia.
Yeah, like where she just didn't know. Which I mean, I'm not like trying to talk down on her because the woman did lose her life for this, but it's just crazy to think about like starvation out of all things when I know she had the money and the means to feed herself. Like, well, I mean, even if it's vegan and because she ate vegan and like raw food diet, there's plenty of raw foods you could eat. But
that kind of, when you're an influencer and you really are pushing a certain lifestyle, like, I mean, he didn't die, but the Liver King. I mean, he was pushing a certain lifestyle, and then he came to find out. But he was also lying, so. Yeah, but he came to find out. But that's what I'm saying. Like, some of these people will go to extremes to push their brand, whether it's lying to, promote that I'm all natural and, this eating carnivore and ancestral shit is going to work, or this lady just going super vegan, living and dying literally by that shit, and then not getting the proper nutrients, not eating enough, whatever the cause was, and then,
You ever seen that? You never seen that? No. I've seen that before. It's hilarious.
Get off Instagram, Jacob. We're over here trying to record a podcast. I was looking
for that other fucking random thing, but we got stuff in the notes. To the notes we go. Good old Travis.
Travis Scott.
Trav.
Dropped fucking Utopia.
Alrighty. What were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts, the first time I listened to it, it was all right. I gave it a 7.5. And in that moment, I thought I was being a little generous. I wanted to give it like a 7, but I went in with a 7.5. That was off the first listen, the first time listening to it all the way through. Second time around, I liked it a lot more. I sat down and actually, because when I listened to it the first time, I was driving to work, and so I was like I was listening to it, but like not
focused
really
on other things.
Yeah. So then the second time around, I listened to it on a nice speaker. It was, high quality speaker, so you're able to hear all the production value, all the little, details, the layers of it and all that shit. Travis Scott has never really been known to be like a great fucking lyricist or a rapper like that. Correct. But
it's more of production and more of sound, like captivating,
exactly,
trying to get you like to move, basically.
So then
he's a rock star at the end of the day.
The second time I listened to it, I gave it an 8.8, but now that I've had almost a week to sit with it, I would say it's probably about an 8.5, somewhere in that range for me. I just feel like it is Travis Scott trying to remake Yeezus. That's what it is. And you see the comparisons online and shit like that, and
I mean, you got to think he is very Kanye influenced.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. And he did some work on Yeezus, so it makes sense. It makes sense why he would, but it just when Yeezus came out, and even for me, like I didn't really like it when it came out, but like it grew on me, and you started seeing how Yeezus started influencing music moving forward.
Right.
When you hear something for the first time, you have that wow factor, that pop, sound. That's like something that you haven't heard before, which Yeezus was. It was really pushing the boundaries, and it's like, holy shit. Fast forward 10 years later, for kids and, the younger generation that haven't heard Yeezus, that might be it for them. But for someone, for our age group that, we know what Yeezus is, we know what it did, we know what it is, it didn't have the same, like, shock value and wow factor that to me that Yeezus had when it came out. And I saw a lot of people say it was all right, it was mid, it was this, it was that. Plus, I mean, it had the fucking buildup of 5 years coming off of Astroworld, which to me is still Travis Scott's like best album by far.
Well,
I thought listening to Astroworld off the first listen, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, to me, that's what it was. Like,
I mean,
that was his, like, what he was trying to do now of like, holy shit, like, this is some different shit.
So when my initial listen, I never rated it in that group chat. I never rated it.
No,
but my initial listen was, because I listened to it and I was like, all right, okay, listening along. And I pictured a couple things. One, the production was great. I thought that off rip. I was like, all right, this production is...
Yeah, with Travis Scott, that's never going to
I was like, this production is crazy. Like, I see what he's trying to do here. And I was listening to it on the soundbar. So, like, I mean, I was enjoying it.
You were immersed.
So, I was like, all right. So, I was listening to it. And then the more I listened to it, I was like, well, it's not necessarily giving us, like, the trap Travis. That, I mean, not all fans are about trap Travis. Me per se,
like birds
trap
in the
guy.
trap.
Well, not just birds in the trap, but just like more of that trap feel, like
the harder stuff,
yeah,
the grungier
like,
stuff.
Correct, like the rock star, fucking you're in a mosh pit style, fucking like rock star shit.
Yeah,
I felt like he trying to get away from that a little bit, and then I was getting to thinking, I was like, well, I mean, granted it is 5 years from Astroworld, but he's also coming off of that tragedy at Astroworld tour. Like, I'm sure he's made this album and then had to redo the whole album probably after that. He probably didn't want his music or was trying to form his music in a different way.
I mean, there's still songs on Utopia that still give off that vibe of, like, we're going to fucking rage. Like,
a couple, but it's very it was very, compared to Astroworld, like you said, like when we listen to Astroworld, that shit, like, it's just like mind-blowing. So when you listen to this, it was like a more mellow version of it. It was like, yeah, I could still get there, but let me show you more of a range of work is what I felt like it was.
Fair enough.
Second listen, yeah, I definitely liked it more. And then, I mean, the more I listen to certain songs, the more I like them.
Yeah.
And then the same with a couple others. The more I've listened to them, I'm like, all right, I don't really like that as much.
Yeah.
But, I never rated it. If I'm going to rate it now, yeah, I'd give it about an 8. Like, it's a pretty good album to me. I like I said, I love the production on it.
The mic. Don't cover your mouth. Let them see you talk.
I love the production of it. But, yeah, I'm going to rate the album. Like I said, I'm going to rate the album an 8. And this is for Utopia. Travis, I fuck with your work. What was your favorite song off the album?
Probably I Know or Love. Those are probably my two off the top of my head. Let me go back real quick. I do like Modern Jams, but I don't. There's like, there's a lot of songs that I like.
I Know and Utopia Twins. I like it.
Yeah, that seems like you. Yeah, I Know is my shit though. But like, there's a lot of the songs on there. Like, I like it, but there's parts like on Modern Jam, like towards the end, where whoever he has singing, like, not Kid Cudi, but the other part of that, like the fucking singy shit in the middle, like towards the end, I didn't really like. Like, that's how there's a lot of songs on there. Like, I like the song, but there's just certain things I'm like, I could have done without that.
That's
like,
what I mean.
It
like,
just throws it off.
The production was good, but then, like I said, he's trying.
It seems like there's certain songs that are
reach in certain.
Yeah,
areas.
it just seems like it's overproduced at certain times.
It was like you could have left it as a certain sound, but you were trying to maybe appease to a different audience. But like I said, I'm more of a trap, like in raunchy shit, like.
He wants the fucking hard stuff.
Yeah. Trap shit.
I mean, backtracking a little bit, talking about Astroworld, like, Stargazing to me is probably one of the best, like, intros to an album, like, to give you what the album is going to be about and, like, what it is and, like, encompassing a whole album. Stargazing is probably one of the hardest intros to an album ever. That shit is fucking... That really gets you, like, it puts you in the world of Travis Scott. It really, I feel like, to me, it really embodies what Astroworld was trying to be and shit and all that. But, but I mean, I guess, like, my top 5 songs on here would be obviously Meltdown. Drake fucking went in and did his thing. I Know, Love. I do like Modern Jam. And then...
You like Fiend?
Fiend. I mean, I like it, but I really am
like,
not a fan of Playboy Cardi.
You don't like
at
Cardi?
All. I think he fucking sucks.
I like it.
I think Playboy Cardi fucking blows dick, honestly. As an artist, I mean, he might be a good person, but as an artist, I think he fucking sucks.
I like some of his music. Not all of it, but I do like Cardi.
The thing is, though, is that he gets fucking good beats and hard beats and good production, but then he does his fucking... I'm just like, okay, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Bro, that's not even singing. No, that's like some fucking Mickey Mouse shit.
It's more like just sounds. But
like, I have not heard him
Everyone has ad-libs and all kinds of weird shit.
But I haven't even heard him drop a good verse. Like, Young Thug, I'll shit on a little bit, but he has good verses that I fuck with. Future, I'll shit on a little bit, but he has verses that I fuck with. Like, I have not... Lil Uzi Vert, I don't really fuck with, but he has verses that I like. I have not come across a Playboy Cardi verse that I like.
Listen to a whole lot of Red?
Fuck no. Well, oh my! I actually did. I listened to it one time through. I think I was with you and Dennis. And I'm just like, there's songs. I got you and Dennis to listen to that all the way through. I don't know if Dennis listened to it all the way through, but it just like, again, he gets good production. He gets good. His beat selection is good. I mean, whoever's doing all that shit for him, great. But like, who's ever telling him? I mean, I guess it's working for him because he's big and everybody loves him. But like, he's got a cult following. Yeah, he does got a cult following like a motherfucker.
That boy's got a cult following.
But God, like, I fucking that shit is trash to me. Like, that shit is fucking caca.
Like, just does his thing. I'd say if I was giving you a quick top 5, Meltdown, Fiend, I Know, Utopia Twins, and Love probably.
Yeah, Drake does go on Meltdown and fucking... He probably has the verse of the album.
Yeah.
He fucking goes on there and kills
Utopia Twins. I love Utopia Twins, but...
Tea time.
Is Utopia Twins... 21's in it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
21's on a couple songs, isn't he? He's on 2 of them. He's featured twice. On one towards the end, no. Beyonce's on there, which I didn't really like.
I did not like it at all.
I like the song, but I don't really like Beyonce on it.
That was actually the first listen. I actually was like, what the fuck? The second listen, I got it a little bit, but that's what I meant by when I was like, he's definitely reaching for like trying to... I felt like he was trying to rewrite some wrongs by having an album with like a bunch of big name features and like Beyonce, for instance, for me at least, felt like, oh look, it's Beyonce, everybody loves Beyonce. Like, well, I mean, trying to like not get clout for it, but like be.
I mean, he's big enough that he can
vibe.
He's big enough that he can get a Beyonce feature and like.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Travis is big enough to get pretty much any feature he wants.
Yeah.
I think at this point.
But yeah, the Beyonce feature I was not a fan of. I mean, again, I'm not really a fan of Kid Cudi, but I like the song that he was on, like his little verse that he had on there.
I love Kid Cudi. How do you not like Kid Cudi?
I like some of his songs, but some of them are just kind of whatever to me.
Fair enough.
And what else? The Cake Pop song, I liked it more when I listened to the whole album. That's the one with Bad Bunny and The Weeknd. I liked it more listening to it on the album than I did like listening to it as a single.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, overall, so my final rating on it right now, and it is still subject to change because it's still only a week, but I'll give it like an 8.3. So to me,
I'm gonna stay solid on my 8.
So to me, out of Astroworld, Utopia, Rodeo, and Birds in the Trap, I feel like it's Astroworld, Rodeo, in Utopia, and Birds in the Trap can kind of alternate for me because I do like songs off of Birds in the Trap, but like, to me as a whole, I really wasn't like. Well, it doesn't really. It's not like as cohesive to me.
When Birds in the Trap came out, it was a whole different time.
Yes, bro. Trust me, that was different times. That was different times.
I love Birds in the Trap. I mean, as an album, that shit. Jack Boys was like
way back is my shit. Beebs in the Trap, that's a fucking classic right there. Yeah. Sweet, Goosebumps, Pick Up the Phone. I mean, Guidance, Loot. Like it had fucking
everything on it is damn near a banger.
Yeah, it had.
But yeah,
and he dropped that one just kind of off of fucking. You know what song I was listening to like a couple weeks ago?
Hooch.
Yeah.
That's fucking
That's the
shit.
fucking shit right there.
That is my
That
shit.
was the shit. Mix off the hooch.
That's
Hey,
my fuck.
hey.
That was. I still love that song. I haven't
Off
heard
the
that song
hooch.
in so
I have to find it on
long.
YouTube, bro.
Yeah, you
I have to find it
That's
on
the only way to
YouTube.
search it.
Man, that was different
For
times.
those of you
brother.
that don't know, if you want to hear a fucking banger, go to
Hooch.
YouTube, search Hooch.
Hooch by fucking Travie. Yeah,
Good
those
old
were
Travis.
fucking different times there, bro. Different times. Let's
I
see
was
if I
at
can find it real quick.
That was at the beginning of the apartment days.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
This
Good
was
old
before
fucking
Birds in the
Crown Tree.
Trap dropped.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was
Birds
like a
in the
little
Trap
before there.
dropped like a couple months later, still at Crown Tree, and we were like, "What?" And we would listen to it on the speaker in
Fucking-
your room.
Because I had the fucking...
Yeah, we were listening to it in your room.
I ended up setting up my room as the fucking smoke spot because we got fucking...
Yeah, we got in trouble for
we got in trouble.
smoking on the balcony. We didn't give a fuck in
Hell
Crown Tree.
no.
No, we didn't. The downstairs neighbors, they were hilarious. Funny people.
Hey, here we go. Low budget shit right here. This is how we do it. No Hangover Podcast. Bringing you the fucking fire. Hey, up the hooch. Hey, that's that fucking... Yeah, that is the jam. That is
That
the
was
jam.
that shit.
Good memories, good times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean...
So I like that.
Utopia.
I would, for me, it goes definitely like you said, Astroworld's at the top.
Yeah, that's his fucking... That's his Mona Lisa. That's his masterpiece. That shit was... I mean, and also the thing is with Utopia that there was so much hype behind it, it's really hard to live up to it no matter how good of an artist you are. Utopia was something more organic. Like, he'd had days before... I mean, what was his first mixtape? Owl Pharaohs or something like that? That one, I had listened to it, but I really wasn't on Travis Scott like that. Once he dropped Days Before Rodeo, that's when I became a hard Travis Scott fan. But that's considered a mixtape still.
Yeah.
And then Rodeo came out about a year later. He had Birds in the Trap, and then about another year later. So,
this little thing.
that little Escape Plan and Mafia. I like Mafia better than Escape Plan.
Yeah.
He's got that secret J. Cole feature in that shit. Biddy. Hey.
But I did like Escape Plan too.
But see, and that came out right after, like that. This came out pretty shortly after the Astroworld shit.
Yeah.
So he still had the mosh pit type of rager type shit going on, like
Yeah.
he was
He's still trying to get paid. I mean, at the end of the day, the man still was getting
Plus,
paid.
I mean, like, and I was saying it then too. Like, that's just not his fault. Like,
it's not.
like it is in a sense because that's the type of energy that he brings. But I mean, at the same time, like. How can you tell? There's so many fucking people going on, like, and different limbs and shit. Like, how can you tell that, like, oh shit, someone's getting fucking trampled? Like,
no, it's. I mean, it's
sad, but
it's a
like,
tragedy. But
you can't really blame him for it.
Yeah, an artist can't be blamed for. It doesn't matter if people were, moving or their actions were by the music. Like, that does not matter. You cannot blame the artist for someone else's actions. And I mean, and tragically, like, remember, like, it was like a 10-year-old got trampled?
Yeah. But why the fuck is a 10-year-old there?
Like, it's like, I get that, yeah, you're wanting to, experience something with your child, but who the fuck takes a child to a Travis Scott concert?
Yeah. That's not the place to take your kid. Time and place. That's not it.
And I mean, tragically, like, like I said, I don't want to, mock the dead or anything, but
I'm not mocking
it. I don't see how Travis can be blamed for any of that.
Well, I mean, they had all
if
those
he was
lawsuits.
granted, like, if he's straight up promoting, like, oh, knock his ass out or something, that's different. But, like, if he's just implying rage or, like, everyone go crazy, that's what you do.
Part of going crazy.
That's what you do as a hyped artist. You're trying to have people go crazy for you.
Mosh pits and shit. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he. Well, I've been a part of one mosh pit in my life.
All of the lawsuits that came against him, I don't think any of them stuck. So. I mean, that goes to show you too. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, as far as albums that have come out this year, I mean,
in the second day of his album being out, it's
it's projected to sell 400,000 copies. So,
in the second day it's been out, it's sold more than every album so far this year.
Bro,
yeah, every rap album at least.
Yeah, so
I don't know about every album.
But. I mean. A lot of people didn't like it and they were kind of down on it, but I really like Don Toliver's album. Lovesick, I was a fan of it. And a lot of people will say that Life of a Don is a better album. And numbers wise, it did better, but and I like both albums. Like all the albums that Don Toliver has put out, like I've liked, but Lovesick, I was a big fan of. I thought he did a good job, and like that was his first like real conceptual album that he had. Like, he had a vision with it.
Life of a Dawn definitely had some bangers.
For sure, bro. The first like 3 or 4 songs are fucking.
Try like the first like 10.
Let's see. Donnie Boy, and I fuck with Don. I've been fucking with Don Toliver since
Escape, Flocky, What You Need,
and What You Need. I didn't even really like until I heard the album too. So, like, I liked it. I didn't like it as a single as much, but yeah, Escape, 5 Times, Way Bigger, Flocky, What You Need. I mean, the first 5 are fucking 2 a.m. That's my shit. You with Travis Scott at the end. That's my shit.
And then my shit was Outer Space.
Outer Space with Baby Keem. Baby Keem. They have a couple songs together too.
I like when this beat drops.
Don't get us in trouble now. The episode fucking kicked off.
Man. Yeah, Baby Keem. He's a dope ass artist.
Yeah, he is. But that one, obviously, Ketramine. I like that album a lot. And I don't know if we've really been able to talk about it on here that since it's come out, but and I could be in the minority here, but I think Kaytranada's production carried that album more than Amine's rapping carried the album. I think they did a good job, and I think their styles it's easy for them to collab, and they make good music together. But I think Amine is what he is at this point in his career. Like, I don't think he's gonna get any bigger. I think this was kind of the high point of his Caroline when he first came out, that single, and then this is probably the high points of his career. I still think that Kaytranada's best years are still ahead of him, and that's what, because I was talking to Jordan about it when we were watching the fights on Saturday, and that's my logic behind it. And I could be a little biased. I am more of a production guy, and I like listening to beats and the layers of it and things like that. But I feel like Kaytranada catered his. He still was able to, yeah. He still splashed in what he does as far as like the dance stuff and the house music and shit like that. But he was able to cater it more to Amine, who was more of a rapper, backpack rapper type shit, and cater his beats to him to give Amine his best album, in my opinion. And I still think that Kaytranada has more in the tank and he can still elevate his career a little bit more than Amine can at this point. Not to say that Amine didn't do a good job, because he did show out. He did, on the features with Big Sean, with Big Sean on Master P, and Let's Talk About It with Freddie Gibbs, which those were the 2 bigger rappers that, actual rappers that he had on the album. I feel like Amine held his own with those 2. And those are 2 guys that can spit, obviously. So, but I definitely feel like, this is the pinnacle of Amine's career. I feel like this is a stepping stone for Kaytranada's career. And again, I could be biased, but
well, I mean, you are a big fan of Kaytranada. So.
I am. So I'm, precursor to, just kind of letting that all be known. But
who would think that, I want to get into a little bit of, we've been talking about it for 2 episodes in a row now. A little bit of this UFC.
My boy Poatan
291 recap.
Let's start from the main event and then work our way down.
Our way back?
Yeah, we'll start from the main event, because the main event was exciting. I mean,
the main event, you were talking shit about it. You were saying.
I was talking shit.
The main event was Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier.
The Diamond.
This is a rematch from their 2018 they fought?
I think 19. 18. It was 18 or 19. I'm pretty sure it was 19, because we watched it at the house at Crown Tree, I think.
You mean Bolton Ben?
Oh yeah, Bolton Bednock Country. I'm going too far back now.
Remember where you live. Come on. I don't know though, cause
you might have not been here,
maybe,
but I remember
was,
watching it
I don't
at
recall.
the house.
Maybe I was out in good
You're
old
already
Washington.
gone, out and about.
The sad days in your life, huh?
Something like that.
Sorry.
You're all there by your lonesome.
I was out there. But anyways, let's not cry on air. Anyways, so the main event, Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier, lived up to the hype. I mean, for a BMF title fight, that was a BMF title fight.
Yeah, and they were hitting each other for sure.
Because the first round, I mean, it was back and forth. Like they both were trying to set bigger shots up, but they were eating shots.
The thing is, though, I mean, me personally, I probably would have given the first round to Dustin.
It was Dustin. I mean, Justin wears it on because Justin has a way of just kind of fucking just continuously coming forward, even if he's getting punched in the face. And Dustin Poirier is a good fucking striker when it comes to picking his shots. Like, he'll try to stick and move and get out of harm's way. He's not a dumb fighter by any means.
No.
Prediction-wise, I had Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, I had Dustin.
This guy had Dustin Poirier.
And clearly that one I lost miserably on because the thing is, though, is that twice in the first round, obviously, if you don't know, Dustin Poirier got knocked out by a fucking head kick. But he checked it twice in the first round, that same head kick. He checked it twice and got his hand up. The third time, he saw it coming. He just didn't get his hand up fast enough. His foot wrapped around, got him in the back of the head, and that was all she wrote.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not like Dustin Poirier didn't see it coming. He just wasn't quick enough to...
I mean, even he said, I didn't think he was going to throw it again for the third time. Like, I had already seen it, and Justin even said the same thing. He checked it twice, so I figured he wouldn't check it this time.
Damn, so there you go.
They were playing chess out there. Like, they both knew what they were doing, and Dustin even said, I was about to try to kick him on the opposite side. Like, that's why he was throwing a hook to see if he would dip, or he was basically saying, like, Justin had bit on something twice, so then when he tried to throw it the third time, Justin moved, actually, instead of biting, and he was like, fuck, and he missed the shot. So then... And they're just playing checkers or chess out there.
Yeah, I mean, especially guys that have already fought each other at that level of competition. I mean, those are number 2 and number 3 in the lightweight division, so 155. So I mean, guys that have fought each other, and it is calculated. I know, like, for people who don't fight any type of combat sport like too often, or really any type of sport. If you guys don't watch sports like it's like football or soccer or basketball, like it just looks like a bunch of people just running around, or if it's fighting, it just looks like people just throwing punches at each other.
People just getting hit in the face.
Once you start watching these sports, or if you played them or whatever, like you start seeing like, these people are, there's thinking involved.
There's a lot of brain power involved.
Yeah, there's strategy involved. Like you got to know what your opponent's tendencies are and shit like that, and
what they're thinking, what they're more likely to throw, where you should be. Mm-hmm. It's all about placement too. Like You're not trying to... I mean, the goal of a fight is to hit someone and not get hit.
Pretty much.
So it's like know when to throw something and know when to back the fuck off. Like trying to stay alive out there.
Yeah, so that was a good way to cap off the night.
But yeah,
head kick.
Beautiful head kick knockout. And then what's crazy is it adds to so they're fought in Salt Lake City, which is Salt Lake City, Utah. And a year prior, I don't know if it's exact date, a year, but...
Close enough.
A year prior, freaking Leon Edwards knocked out Kamaru Usman the exact same way, just on the opposite side with a head kick.
Headshot.
So it was just crazy because, I mean, Justin Gaethje...
And Kamaru Usman was in the building.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje and Kamaru Usman are boys. Like, they trained together and everything. So
he avenged him.
Yeah. He was like, I knocked somebody out the same way you got knocked out. How did I do?
Shit. Yeah, that was a good way to cap off the night. But the co-main event, I've been listening to a lot of MMA podcasts because I listen to Chael Sonnen and Brandon Schaub, like their individual podcasts to kind of, and I listen to Ariel Helwani's sometimes, but his are so fucking long. They're like 4 hours, like 3 hours, like minimum. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah, there's just so long, so it's hard to get. Sometimes it gets a long time to get to the part that you want to hear. But
I'm just trying to hear a quick recap.
It is. It's funny to hear the different perspectives because watching the fight. Obviously, if you guys don't notice, I am a big Poatan fan, and I want him to fucking rise to the top because I think he. Not only do I like his style of fighting, but I feel like he will be a big draw. His style of fighting is an exciting style of fighting, and if you match him up with the right people, then that's more eyes. It's gonna draw more attention to the sport. But so Brandon Schaub, that was my mom. Brandon Schaub was saying, and I was talking to Jordan about it that night too, because I mean, watching the fight, the 3 rounds, I thought Jan was gonna win. And I'm saying that
I take 2 takes from it. Originally, and like I told you there, and even how I have on my notes, I thought Jan got robbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
My only take that I did hear one more take after I wrote all this, and then I thought a little differently, was when they finished the fight.
Yeah.
How exhausted Jan looked.
Yeah, that was.
And like how he stayed on the ground and everything, and Pereira's putting his hands up. Pereira didn't really take any damage. He was the one kind of initiating the damage. That's when Jan would like basically shoot.
Yeah.
Then I see a little bit more why they could probably give him the slight edge. But yeah, when I originally watched it, like I told you that night, I was like, that's fucking robbery.
Well, watching it, Jan Blachowicz clearly won the first round. He took him down, kept him down, and kept the ground control. But to your point, there was not a lot of damage. And I think it was Chael Sonnen that was saying that nowadays judges don't judge a takedown as much, or they don't value it as much as they used to as far as giving them points, because he took him down, and he did take him down in that last round, but besides the first round, the times that he took him down, Jan Blachowicz did not do much in taking him down.
He didn't do any damage with it.
In the second round, Pereira was able to get up and fucking get up from the takedown and continue to do what he did on the feet. But even then, Pereira it seemed like he was picking and choosing his strikes a little bit more, but Jan was throwing a lot more combinations, and that for me, that's what made me think that Jan was able to take Alex Pereira down, and then when he came up, he was more willing to throw and throw more combinations than Alex was. But to your point, and that was the one thing that I did hear, that Jan Blachowicz looked fucking exhausted.
Yeah,
how do you take someone, granted it was an altitude, but how do you take someone that looked fucking deadbeat fucking tired after 3 rounds and like, all right, well now we're going to put him in a 5-round championship fight?
No, I get it. And to your point, that I thought Alex was gifted the fight, but I thought because, 1, he didn't look tired, right? 2, he is a bigger draw. At this point in his career, I mean, he's the fucking... He comes into the UFC, 6 fights now into the UFC?
8. I think he's 7-1 now.
Yeah, they weren't all in the UFC, though.
Oh, no, they weren't. So, yeah. So, he won,
this is
2,
like
3, 4...
I remember, Sean, Izzy twice, Jan.
He had a fight before.
A fight before that. Yeah. And was that his only fight before Sean Strickland?
I think so.
I thought he had one more for some reason. Can't remember.
Either way. Keep on talking. I'll look it up.
Either way, so like Eric was saying, I think he's a bigger draw, and the fights in light heavyweight, definitely like Yuri versus Alex is like a big, exciting draw that a lot of people want to see. So that's why they were like, all right, let's just, give him the nod and let him win this fight. But to your point as well, if ground control doesn't count for as many points, that pisses me off about Volk losing to Islam. Because he won that fucking fight.
Yeah, I mean...
Because he was the one initiating the damage. At the end of the fight, same thing. He looked fresh. Islam looked gassed. He had ended the fight on top of Islam.
Yeah, he did. So that's why you don't let it go to the judges. That's why you don't let it go to the judges. Because of that. Because, I mean, it just depends who's judging and how they interpret it. Yeah. And, in this night in particular, they didn't really value the takedowns as much as
that night.
The fact that, Alex Pereira was able to defend himself. And based off everything that people were saying going into this fight, that if Jan was able to take Alex Pereira down and control him on the ground, that he was going to win the fight. He took him down. He controlled him on the ground for the first round, but then after that, it really wasn't, there wasn't much else to it. So, it comes down to you as an individual or those judges as an individual. What do you value in a fight? And they saw that, maybe Pereira wasn't, as willing to throw the combos, but he was picking his shots and he was tearing up that leg. He was tearing up Jan Blachowicz' leg. His lead leg, that shit was welted as fuck. And, not for nothing, you go back and watch it, Pereira was landing not a lot of shots to the face, but a lot of body shots as well. And people don't really take that into consideration as much. So, needless to say, I'm glad that Pereira won. The next fight, most likely, that it's looking like is going to be Yuri Prochazka and Alex Pereira, and that's going to be a fucking banger. There's going to be no lack of fucking fireworks there. That is going to be a hell of a fucking fight. And it's going to be for the light heavyweight championship. So I'm looking forward to that. And I like both of the fighters. So I really, regardless of who wins, I feel like I win because I like both of them. I think Yuri Prochazka is a fucking very unorthodox, very exciting fighter.
He's exciting.
He's a striker. Neither of them want to go down to the ground. They want to stand up and fucking throw.
They want to throw shit. They want to throw knees, kicks, fucking elbows.
I mean, that knockout of fucking Dominic Reyes that Yuri Prochazka had, that shit was fucking, oh my God. That shit was disgusting.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, I'm excited for that fight.
We're working our way down again.
Real quick before we go on to the next fight, they keep on saying your boy fucking Charles isn't going to fight Islam in October.
Where do you see this?
Bro, I'm just trying to, what I hear, the word on the street, is that Charles Oliveira has already said like 2 or 3 times that he's not fighting Islam in October.
Nah, he's fighting him in October. All right, anyways.
The third fight of the middle, Derek Lewis. Yeah, I think that was the biggest. Who saw that coming? Who saw him throwing a fucking flying knee to start the fight?
Flying knee out the gate. Catches the dude he was fighting off guard. Basically gets on top of him. And he looked tired, honestly. But just kept wailing on him till he TKO.
Yeah, that was the...
But now the sole owner of the knockout record.
There's 14 knockouts in the UFC. He's the knockout champ, the knockout king in the UFC. So good for him. And, I mean, that was essentially a contract fight because he's out of his contract now. So, and also, I mean, a lot of shit lined up for him because before that, he was on the prelims. So even if he does that on the prelims, not a lot of people are going to be talking about it because exactly.
No one cares about it. But Wonder Boy and Michael Pereira misses weight. Mm-hmm. Wonder Boy's like, I'm not fighting him. He missed weight. They get fucking knocked
Derek
off
Lewis
the card.
And fucking
Derek Lewis gets the shot and boom. And took full advantage of it.
Exactly. So there you go, kids. Life lesson. Fucking take full advantage of your opportunities.
Yep. That's actually quoted. That's a great quote. It's a real life thing.
Real shit because it seemed like.
Because you don't know when the next one's coming.
It seemed like up until that point, like I said, they didn't even have him at the main event on the prelims. They had him on the second to last fight on the prelims. So, like, he would, you might catch it. And even I feel like we're pretty big UFC fans. I was driving to where I was going to go watch it.
Yeah, we don't watch the prelims all the time.
So, like, I might have caught it. I might have not. And, it just, things lined up. So, he'll probably end up getting another contract from the UFC. And if not, then whoever does sign him is going to pay him because of that factor of...
where did Francis sign?
PFL, I think so, yeah.
PFL is looking to sign him.
And they'll give him more money.
Derek Francis rematch because that fight did not live up to its hype.
No, it didn't. So. But, yeah, so that was exciting. The fight before that was the...
Tony and Bobby.
Man.
Tony.
T-Ferg.
I love you, man, but it's time to go.
Get fucking daddle.
It's time to go.
Yeah, he's got to hang it up. He needs to.
I'm not saying you can't fight still. You can fight, but...
No, he can't.
Not in the UFC.
No. Don't go to PFL. Don't go to
No. Be done.
Don't go to Bellator.
Been fighting for too long.
Be gone. It's wild because he had a 12-fight win streak. I think that's the longest
win
in
streak
lightweight
and longest losing streak
in lightweight history. 6 now. So, yeah, I would say hang it up. And Bobby Green's nice, he's whatever, but
yeah, but he ain't nothing special, and he's making light work of you, taps you out.
Yeah, he did.
So.
And then the first fight on the card was Kevin Holland, Michael Chiesa, and Kevin Holland made light work. But he says he's going to go back up to middleweight, right?
Now, he had a hell of a fucking quote.
He said, I want to eat steak and fuck to make weight, pretty much. I don't want to have to cut all this weight. Like, all right, makes sense. Sounds like fun to me. Get bust a nut and then eat some steak. Sounds like
apparently you gain weight from
it. That sounds like a solid time. But if he stays at 170, though, he could be a real contender at 170.
Kevin Holland?
Yeah. 180.
Yeah, I mean, because
185, I don't know.
I mean, at least right now, depending on his fights, though. Because Kevin Holland's a scrapper, but he doesn't. Granted, his takedown defense did look pretty good, but he doesn't like being taken down. I mean, that's how Chimaev beat him. Granted, it was at a catch weight.
Yeah, and that was short notice. He was supposed to fight fucking Nick Diaz on that fight, and Nate Diaz, and he took that. So that one, I don't really hold it against Kevin Holland too much.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's not always done the best with wrestlers.
No, but at 170, he's bigger than most guys anyway. He's lengthier. At 180, that size advantage. 185, that size advantage isn't there as much.
No, because he's like I think he's more naturally around that weight, like 180-ish.
So if he cuts the fucking 15 pounds, whatever, then he's got the size advantage. So he's got the reach advantage, and the wrestling, to me, unless you start going up, like, I don't think it's gonna be as big of an advantage for these 175 or 170 pounders than it would against a 185 guy. Because those guys that get down to, like, I mean, you think about it, like Vettori, Costa, I mean, even fucking Robert Whittaker. Those are fucking, like, Yoel Romero when he was in 185. Like, it's amazing how the fuck they get down to 185.
Yeah, but Kevin Holland started at 185, I'm pretty sure.
But he looks like he's a natural 185. These guys at the top of 185, Jared Cannonier, do not look like they're naturally 185.
Yeah, you could tell
they fucking cut hella fucking weight.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Like, they fucking, they drop weight for sure.
Yeah. They're probably walking around at like 210 at least.
Oh, that's wild.
Get down to 185 and fucking.
I mean, fucking your boy, Poatan.
That
boy
the future lightweight champ. You saw it here first. The road to glory started on fucking Saturday at UFC 291, and now he's fulfilling the prophecy of his people, the indigenous people of Brazil.
Anyways, going back to the main event. Now Justin holds the BMF.
Who cares?
Once you hold the BMF,
who cares?
People want it. He's getting some call-outs.
I'm going to say this right now before you even say it. Fucking Conor McGregor needs to shut the fuck up. He's never fighting in the UFC again.
I highly doubt it. I think he will.
I don't think he will ever fight in the UFC
I think
again.
This is look at it. It's a red panty night laid out for him. He's not a contender, right? We both see that.
He's a money fight. He's Jorge Masvidal at this point.
Jorge Masvidal couldn't hold.
Jorge Masvidal is the second biggest draw in the UFC ever. As far as like pay-per-views and money?
I don't think so.
Yes.
Over is he?
Look it up. Yes.
You look it up. Don't think he is. Anyways, what I'm saying about Justin and Conor here is Conor calls out Justin. Justin said, I've offered to fight him, I guess, 6 times. Like, he didn't fight me, whatever. But I see that being a more realistic possibility for his return than a Michael Chandler. Like, the UFC still claims he's fighting in December. So, I haven't heard of any drug tests he's passed, but they claim he's fighting in December. We'll see about that. But I doubt he'll get a title shot, off rip. So I'm just figuring maybe a BMF title fight.
That BMF title is fucking dumb as shit. If Conor McGregor comes back for that, like, that just shows you how far Conor McGregor has fallen from stardom. To me, not from stardom, but from like being an elite fighter.
For example, what if he does?
He's not going to be Justin Gaethje.
No, I'm not. Okay, listen to how it plays out here. Say he does challenge for, right? And somehow he does win.
All right.
Then he challenges whoever holds the lightweight belt at that time.
No.
Then he fights Charles or Islam.
He will get fucking wrecked, bro. He will get wrecked.
Then he knocks them out.
No.
He's not beating Charles. I don't give a fuck.
He's not beating Charles.
Fuck
He's not beating Islam. He's not beating Justin. He's not beating Dustin.
I really don't.
He's not beating anybody in the top 5. He's not beating anybody in the top 10, probably. When was the last time he fought? It was when he broke his leg.
Yeah.
He's done.
Now he's got a metal rod there, so he's fine.
I think he's done in the UFC. His professional fighting career is done.
He makes so much fucking money.
Exactly. He doesn't need to.
There's no need to.
There's no point for him.
It's just a want if he wants to or not.
And at this point, I don't want to see him fight.
I do. I still want to see him.
At this point, for what? To see him get fucking beat up?
Yeah. I wouldn't want to see that, but
that's what's gonna happen. If you put him against anybody in the top 10, he will get beat up.
I don't know if Michael Chandler's beating him up. Michael Chandler's not that good of a fighter to me.
Conor McGregor's not that good of a fighter anymore.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
And plus, I mean, the way it seems like it, they can't even get a fucking opponent for Conor McGregor. He's supposed to.
His opponent is himself.
The UFC coach or the Ultimate Fighter coaches are supposed to fight, and now he's went straight from fucking. Fuck Michael Chandler. I don't want to fight you. I want to fight for a fucking BMF title. What a fucking punk.
Like I'm saying.
What a
don't
fucking
know for
punk.
sure. You never know for sure, but
56.
Interesting. Who knows what will happen? I guess we'll have to, like I said, wait and see how it all plays out. Well, hopefully Charles does fight Islam.
You know what I just noticed? My wrists are naked for the first time in a long time. First time in a long time. Hurting.
It's like that Ricky Bobby.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Inside. Not You Too. A fucking great song by fucking Drake featuring Chris Brown. The great thing about that song is that Chris Brown is fucking, they just use him subtly throughout the song. So it just like adds to the fucking, if you're ever hurting, if you've ever been hurt by fucking a woman, a female, and they've just, they're doing the same shit that all these other hoes do. Listen to that song. It'll get you through.
You listen to that song a lot.
No, I haven't. Actually, I haven't listened to it in a few weeks.
Gonna listen to it tonight?
I might. I just might. Now that I've just hyped myself up while I'm making dinner, I'll fucking listen to it. My eggs and bacon. I'll probably sprinkle some cheese and some cold cuts in there. Add to the protein.
Nice. Because
your boy's over here cutting weight but making gains.
I'm making gains.
And you can take that to the bank, baby.
That's funny. I said I was in shape the other day. Round.
My abs are starting to come in a little bit because I've cut weight. Watch. By the end of fucking August. If I get down to like 210, you better watch out. You better watch out, world.
Well.
If I get back down to 205, the last time I was at 205 was March of 2019, and that's probably when I got down to 200. Like I was like between 200 and 205. That's when I was probably like at my most lean. Like I could see my abs, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, nice.
Yeah. Never getting down to 200. I'll never get to 200.
I was about to say you're way below.
I'll never even get up to 200. But shit, I've never even hit 190. I've been pretty close, and I was like, whoa now. What?
I can't remember when I was 190. I think the last time I was 190 was our sophomore year of high school.
You and me are different breeds, my friend. I weighed 187, and I was like, hey, now, relax. Now.
Isn't that wild how we're about the same height, but it just depends how you carry your weight. Your muscle mass, your bone density, all that shit. Like, your arms aren't that much longer than mine, though.
We haven't done a real reach thing.
But
you know, like when you do, like, have you ever measured your like height with your arms? You put like one fingertip on the ground and the other one like up on a wall. That's supposed to be your height. Like most people, that's supposed to be like the average. It's supposed to be equal your height.
Yeah.
Mine is like 4 or 5 inches taller. Like my wingspan.
There you have it, folks. He's got long arms. Long arms. But yeah, so.
Yep. They'd help me in the lightweight division. I would not want to drop that much weight, though. I know that would have to probably be the one.
It would probably be easy for you.
I don't know, though. Mike, fucking Colby, he's like naturally 170. He fights at 170.
There's not a lot of people like that, though.
That's true. Most everyone cuts weight.
Especially
he's like one of the only fighters that
especially since there's such a discrepancy in the weight classes. Like, it's not like it's like a 10-pound difference. It's not like you're going up a weight class every 10 pounds. It's usually 15 to 20 pounds that you're fucking going up. So, I mean, there's just and a lot of it is, too, just, like, your body style. Like, you know, Alex Pereira was, you know, even Izzy. You don't see a lot of 6'4" guys in middleweight. Oh. A lot of them are 6'1", 6'2", you know, 5'11".
Yep. 6'4", fucking 185. Like,
yeah. Once you start getting in light heavyweight, that's when you start.
I ain't fighting there because that's where I'd.
And I would probably have to cut down if I were to fight. I'd probably have to cut down to 185 because a lot of the top light heavyweights are fucking 6'2", 6'3", 6'4".
I don't know because, I mean, think about it.
Pereira, 6'4".
DC was fucking.
He was fighting at heavyweight, but he was also
a fucking world class.
He was also a world class wrestler.
True, but I'm just saying he was like what 5'9".
He's like 5'10", yeah. But again, that's an outlier. That's the exception. That's not the rule.
That's true.
Most of those guys at that heavyweight, you know, even Jan Blachowicz, I mean, he's 6'2", and he looked short compared to fucking.
Yeah, he was looking small.
Pereira. Fucking Yuri, he's like 6'3". Jamal Hill, he's like 6'2", 6'3". Johnny Walker's like fucking 6'6".
Is he really?
He's a tall fuck.
Jesus, I didn't know that.
The guy, Ankalaev, that Russian dude that he's gonna fight, he's probably like 6'3", 6'4". Sergey Papovich, he's a heavyweight, so never mind. But yeah, Johnny Walker's tall. Johnny. But we sipping on. This episode is brought to you by Casa Mexico, a new tequila that I've discovered.
You were right. 6'6".
Let's pose real quick for the. Where that will be the cover art, the thumbnail. So you saw it here first, but yeah, he's tall.
A lot of these light heavyweights: Anthony Smith 6'4", Jamal Hill 6'4".
Yep, they're taller.
Paul Craig 6'4".
But imagine if all those guys started fighting at their normal weight. Those are all heavyweights. Everyone's moving up a weight class most of the time if they're fighting at their normal weight. Like Kamaru Usman, he could probably easily fight at middleweight.
Again, he weighs well, I don't know about easily. I think he says he's like 190. Maybe he's 200.
Bro, do you see how yoked he fucking looks on fight nights? He could easily fight at middleweight. At 185, that's probably, I mean.
Yeah, but he'd be, like you said, a shorter fighter.
But that's what I'm saying. If everybody fought at their. But Izzy, though, again, Izzy is an exception. He probably would still fight at middleweight because even when he went up to.
He weighed 200. What do you weigh?
Like 195.
Yeah, he didn't. No, I think he.
200? Was it like 200?
Yeah.
So, like, he was eating pizza on the scale. So, like, he probably would still stay at middleweight. There's always those exceptions. Yeah. But for the most part, most of these guys would probably move up a weight class. Volkanovski could probably. I mean, he's an exception as well. That he is short, so he can go from 155 to 145, and it really not make a big difference. He could probably go
up to 170 if he wanted. Because
I mean, he used to weigh like 214 when he was playing rugby.
So it's like,
but then at that point, then it starts. I mean, which I guess he's shown that it doesn't affect him the
height advantage,
the height and the length does, because he beat the shit out of fucking Max Holloway.
He just beat the shit out of fucking what was his name that he just fought?
Yuri Rodriguez.
Yeah. That guy was way taller than him, way longer reach, didn't matter.
Yeah, he beat the fuck out of him. And you just watch that sequence of like when he's like, okay, I'm done with this fight, and he just fucking boom, 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 picked him up, dropped him, and just started fucking wailing on his ass on the ground.
Just to show him
wow. That shit was fucking like.
And he's active. I love Alex, man. Yeah. That
shit was fucking amazing.
He's a good fighter.
I was like, wow, I can't believe that. He really just like, okay, I want this fight is ending now. Yeah. And he ended it now. Like that shit was.
He dictates that.
He's like, I'm tired of this.
That's what I do want to see. I mean, granted, Charles is going to win that fight,
no,
but
not, bro.
If they don't fight in October, I wouldn't mind seeing that Alex Islam rematch.
You're wild.
That was a good ass fight to watch.
Yeah, it was, but I'm talking about you thinking Charles is going to beat Islam
I do.
the second time around.
That I do.
That's blind faith. That's what you call blind faith, people.
Yep. Got it in Jesus, and I think Charles Oliveira will win.
I got it in Jesus, and I got it in Charles. Oh, shit. Well, I think we've covered a good amount of
Covered
stuff.
our UFC topics.
We covered music that we haven't
Music.
covered in a while because
I've been picking the topics.
Jacob don't know shit. No, I'm just kidding. No, but we haven't talked about music. I mean, me and Dennis can go back and forth. Obviously, Jordan hasn't been here for a while. Me can go back and forth on music all day, but
Well,
I do.
you'll have some time without me.
I do love talking
Maybe,
about music.
Maybe the next 2 episodes we'll have some music talk in it.
Probably not.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, it could be there, but it won't be anything worth, like, it won't be anything of substance. Sorry.
Stay tuned for the surprise guest.
But yeah, we're going to have a couple guests on. Jacob's going to be gone for the week, enjoying the sweet sun of the Caribbean and all that shit.
More like
so
the
I
Gulf, because I'm going to that way.
Oh, you're going
Mexico, Belize.
Where are you
Honduras.
guys going out of? Miami?
Tampa.
Tampa? Oh, shit. So, yeah, the Gulf. Never mind. Not the Caribbean, the Gulf. But, yeah, so we'll have it. Well, I'm going to have
when I get
a
back.
couple guests on, and it'll be a fun time. It'll be a little change of pace. You know, fun shit. So we got some shit lined up. And you got anything you want to say before we don't see you for a couple weeks there, bud?
Not a fan of your Fresca tequila mix.
Ouch. Wow. Well.
No. It wasn't bad. Granted, I haven't drank tequila in a very long time, so it could have been that.
And it's dark tequila as well.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to try another combo.
80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume.
I don't know. Don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, well.
But not to cut you down. Still love you.
And with that, everybody love everybody. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Deuces.